Yo, wrestling fans. First of all, welcome to your SmackDown Live review. The go-home show to Clash of Champions. I want you to remember that, wrestling fans. This was SmackDown Live's go-home show to Clash of Champions. And tonight we saw Rowan and Roman Reigns battle each other all across the squared circle, all over the arena. We saw Shane McMahon, the worst in the world, replace Elias in the King of the Ring semi-final matchup and give us all one of the biggest scares in King of the Ring history. We saw the Dead Man return to SmackDown Live. All that plus so much more happened on this edition of SmackDown. Here's the intro, and I'll be back in just a second. You know, wrestling fans, remember when SmackDown Live used to be the show that we all could just take a step back, relax, have something cold to drink, eat, and enjoy 2 hours of wrestling every Tuesday night and soon to be Friday night. Y'all remember that? You remember when SmackDown used to be that? You know, tonight, the announcers made a point. Tom Phillips said that Eric Rowan was a mess. No. You got that all wrong, Tom Phillips. SmackDown Live is a mess. And there's plenty of proof how the WWE creative wrote this show, or Vince McMahon wrote this show, since how he's all into SmackDown Live right now, because wrestling over on Monday Night Raw does not seem like a type of show Vince McMahon would have his hands on as much. SmackDown Live, on the other hand, you look at the show that was produced tonight, more of a Vinnie Mac show. And it didn't make any sense at all. Absolutely not. I mean, I understand that we are reliving history with the Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton segment tonight. Kofi Kingston putting Randy Orton through a table at the Garden like he did 10 years ago. Great memory, great moment for all the wrestling fans. I remember watching that segment 10 years ago at home. That was a great rivalry 10 years ago. The difference is, wrestling fans, and Randy Orton made a point of it right now, Kofi Kingston still throwing around pancakes with that power of positivity. After everything that Kofi Kingston has had done to him in the build towards Clash of Champions, Vinnie Mac, you should not be riding Kofi Kingston to throw pancakes on the way down to the ring. Ridiculous. Does it make sense? No, absolutely not. Baby! One thing that did make me happy tonight, it makes me happy every time this superstar comes on TV, and that's the Dead Man showed up. The Phenom of the WWE showed up. Should make every old school wrestling fan happy. He's a part of all our families. Anybody that's been watching wrestling for any long length of time would feel that way. He didn't do much. He pretty much just chokeslammed Sami Zayn and walked out. But still, seeing the dead man on TV, don't get to see it very often. It was kind of nice. The Miz versus Andrade. This was pretty much just to set up what happened later on, which was Shinsuke Nakamura getting the upper hand over the Miz. You'll get my full preview and predictions tomorrow of Clash of Champions. But how much upper hand Shinsuke Nakamura has been getting, you would think that the Miz is going to walk out victorious. I'm really hoping that is not the case at Clash of Champions, because look, Nakamura needs to have a good title reign. He has not had that yet. Nikki Cross versus Mandy Rose. Not much to this matchup. Not much at all. Quite frankly, I don't really even care about this match. Nikki Cross victorious. Eric Rowan, the mess of SmackDown Live, according to the commentary, versus Roman Reigns, which is happening this coming Sunday. And they had an all-out brawl all over the arena, all around the squared circle, in a no disqualification match this Sunday, announced later on in the night. Now, wrestling fans, Eric Rowan hit Roman Reigns with one of the cameras. He was going ballistic. Now, there's no doubt in my mind they're trying to keep Eric Rowan happy. There's no doubt in my mind I see Daniel Bryan helping Eric Rowan become victorious in this matchup on Sunday. Why? They're still friends. And it's a no DQ matchup. I just see it. But this has not been a great payoff so far, in my eyes. It just hasn't. Rowan, I mean seriously. Tonight really didn't get me any more hyped up for Clash of Champions. We saw a lot of Superman punches. And for the first time ever, really, we saw Eric Rowan not get knocked down completely after the first big punch. Keep that in mind. Bayley and Ember Moon in action. Not really much of this match either. It was simply there so they could have the famous Vince McMahon stare down before championship match between Bayley and Charlotte. That was it. Bayley walked out. Will Charlotte become a 10-time women's champion on Sunday? Still remains to be seen. It looks like she might. It is going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But you'll hear my full preview on that tomorrow. That was pretty much SmackDown Live. Chad Gable's going to the King of the Ring finals. It's not at Clash of Champions anymore. WWE moved it to Monday Night Raw. Threw a little curveball there. I really didn't care about Shane McMahon being in the King of the Ring finals. That was cringeworthy. Absolutely cringe. It made me care even less about the semifinals matchup. About Shane taking Elias's place. If Elias is really injured, I hope you get better. With the semifinals match, I didn't care about it tonight. And it was also just there because I thought I heard. I had it on mute because I thought about starting this early. I didn't. But because the semifinals matchup didn't mean jack to me. But I had it on mute, and I thought I read Shane McMahon's lips telling Kevin Owens that he was fired. Means he's getting taken off TV until the draft next month. That's my guess. And then, come the draft, he'll go over to Monday Night Raw. That's it. But hope you enjoyed this this SmackDown Live review. If you did, leave me a thumbs up, become a subscriber, and also leave me a comment down below. Go back and watch anything you missed. Preview and predictions tomorrow of Clash of Champions. Of course, the review on Sunday. So, a lot to look forward to. A lot on the channel already. Go back and check it out. And until I see you again, this is Webby. And I'll catch you on the other side. Talk to you later.